Okay, today we're going to talk about multi-digit subtraction. So let's review. What is subtraction? Basically, it's just taking away a number from another number to find the difference. So let's look at a problem that you've probably seen before. It's a pretty simple problem, and that would be 8 minus 2. What is the answer?
6.
6, exactly. Now, let's try another problem. We have, read this one for me.
38 minus 14.
Exactly. Now, just like in multi-digit addition, in multi-digit subtraction, there's some steps that we have to follow. They're very simple. So here we go. The first step is we're going to use our place value chart, and we're going to put our number into the appropriate place value. So let's look at number 38. Where would the 3 go?
In the tens.
In the tens place, exactly. What about the 8?
In the ones.
Exactly, very good. And the 14, where would that go?
The 1 would go in the tens, and the 4 would go in the ones.
Very good. You're so good at this. Okay, so now we draw a line underneath. We put our subtraction symbol right here. And step number 2. Okay, we always subtract from right to left, just like in addition. Why? Because we want to start with the smallest place value, which happens to be the ones. Okay, so here we go. 8 minus 4.
4.
4, very good. And 3 minus 1.
It's 2.
2. And the answer is?
24.
Very good. Now, if you want to check your work and you want to make sure that that's the correct answer, there's a very simple thing that you can do. It's called a related addition sentence. And the reason we can do this is because addition and subtraction are inverse operations. That means they do the opposite of one another. One puts the numbers together, and the other one takes the numbers apart. So what we do is we take our answer, which is 24, we take the bottom number, which is 14, and we add it to 24. 4 plus 4, 8. 2 plus 1, 3. And guess what? Check. Our work is correct. Right, let's try another problem. Now we have a bigger number. Would you read that one for me?
364 minus 166.
Exactly. Okay, so first thing we do is we're going to put the right digits into the appropriate place value. So we'll start with 364. Where does the 3 go?
3 goes in the hundreds.
Exactly. The 6?
In the tens.
Good. And the 4?
In the ones.
Very good. Then 166. Where does that go?
1 would go in the hundreds.
Right, and right underneath.
The 6 would go in the tens.
Good.
And the other 6 would go in the ones.
Excellent. And then we draw our line and our subtraction symbol, and we're ready to begin the second step, which is what? We subtract from?
Right to left.
Very good. Why? Because it's in the ones place. We start with the smallest place value. So here we go. 4 minus 6.
Wait, you can't do that.
No, you can't. Why?
Because 4 is smaller than 6.
That's right. You cannot do that. Otherwise, we would end up with a negative number, and we don't want that. So it's very simple. All we have to do is this, we'll call this Mr. 4. Okay? Mr. 4 goes over to his neighbor's house, Mr. 6, and he knocks on the door and he goes, "Hey, Mr. 6, can I borrow a set of tens?" And he says, "Yeah, no problem. I have plenty to give." So he takes 1 away, 1 set of tens, and he becomes Mr. 5. And now Mr. 4 gets 1, and he becomes Mr. who?
14.
Mr. 14. Okay, so now we're ready to subtract. 14 minus 6.
8.
8. Very good. 5 minus 6.
1.
What?
Oh.
Can you do that?
No, 5 is, again, smaller than the 6.
Exactly. So what does he need to do?
He needs to go to the 3.
Exactly, and he's going to borrow 1. Okay, so now Mr. 3 becomes Mr. 2, and Mr. 5 becomes Mr. 15. Okay? It's also called regrouping because it's like you're making a new group of numbers. Okay, so now 15 minus 6.
9.
9, very good. And 2 minus 1?
Is 1.
Excellent. And our answer?
198.
Very good. And again, if you want to check your work, you do a related addition sentence. You take your answer, 198 plus 166. That's a funny looking 8, okay? 8 plus 6, 14. Carry the 1. 10 plus 6, 16. Carry the 1. 1, 2, 3. 364. Does that check?
Yes.
Yes, it does. Okay, so we did that correctly. Now, next problem. Can you read this one for me?
605 minus 427.
Excellent. Now, in this case, we don't have a place value chart, and sometimes you're not going to have one. So you have to sort of make imaginary columns on your paper. Okay, you just do it in your mind. So we're going to put 605 into our imaginary columns. The 6 goes in the hundreds place, tens place, and ones place. We're going to do the same thing with number 427. The 4 goes in the hundreds place, the 2 in the tens place, and the 7 in the ones place. We draw our line, we put our subtraction symbol, and we're ready for second step, which is what?
Subtracting.
Right. And which way do we go?
From right to
To
left.
left, exactly. Okay, so here we go. Now, is 5 smaller or bigger than 7?
Smaller.
Smaller. So what is Mr. 5 going to have to do?
Go to next door to
Yes,
get
he's
a
going to
number.
borrow 1, right? Okay, so he goes next door, but can he borrow 1 from 0?
No.
Does 0 have anything to give away?
No, it's just 0.
Right, he has nothing. So what is Mr. 0 going to have to do?
Go next door to number 6.
Yep, he's going to go over to Mr. 6, and he's going to go, hey, Mr. 6, can I borrow 1, please? Mr. 6 says, yeah, no problem. He becomes Mr. 5, and now Mr. 0 becomes Mr. who?
10.
Mr. 10. Now he has plenty to give away. So now Mr. 5 can go to Mr. 10, and who does he become?
He becomes Mr. 9.
9, very good, and Mr. 5 becomes Mr.
15.
15. Now we're ready to subtract. 15 minus 7?
8.
8, very good. 9 minus 2?
7.
7. 5 minus 4?
1.
1, very good. What's our answer?
178.
Excellent. If we want to check our work, all we do is we put our answer up here, and we add the bottom number, 427, and you just go 8 plus 7, 15, carry the 1, 8 plus 2, 10, carry the 1, 2 plus 4, 6. And does that check?
Yes.
Yes, it does. Okay? So it's very simple. And now you're going to get to try some problems. And remember, just follow the 3 basic steps. First, you line up the digits in the appropriate place value. Second step, you subtract from
Right
to left. And then the final step, if the digit on top is smaller than the digit on the bottom, then all he has to do is go over next door and borrow a number. That's it. Get to work and get ahead in math.